Greetings, family. I hope you're doing good. Let's talk. Let's gist. Let's vibe. Today we're going to be talking about electricity versus magnetism. Meaning, what are the differences between electricity and magnetism? And how does it relate to us today? First of all, what is electricity? According to the Oxford Dictionary, this is the definition. Electricity is what is produced from charged particles. That means charged particles, what they produce is electricity. All right. Either stationary or dynamic. That means if they're staying in one place or they are moving. If they're moving, it's called current. If it's stationary, if it's being stored, like in a power bank, for instance. That means you're accumulating the charged particles. You're accumulating the electricity. It can either be stationary or dynamic. That's what I mean. It can just stay one place or move. What else is electric? Do you know we are electric beings? Especially the masculine energies. They are electric because electric flows. When it flows, it's called current. What else flows? I'm coming. What is magnetism? Magnetism is the movement of said charged particles in a field. That's why it's called a magnetic field. Meaning, magnetism produces electricity. Without magnetism, the movement of those charged particles, it cannot produce electricity. Which is why our generators have coils. Because the coils create the field for the magnetism to take place. And that magnetism now produces electricity, which when you put in a wire becomes current that you plug into your house. Why am I saying all this? Why am I going into physics? Because what you don't know is that spirituality is actually quantum physics. Oh yes. The same things you need to get about yourself. For instance, did you know that there is no man on this planet not born by a woman? There is no man that can say, I wasn't born by a woman. You can't say that. But yet, in the world we live in today, men rule. But you were produced by something. Just like electricity was produced by magnetism. If you allow electricity to exist by itself, will it stay? It can't sustain itself. It will run down. That's why you see batteries run down. That's why you see batteries run down and they need a recharge. But where is the charging coming from? It comes from the magnetic field. So guess what? The magnetic field sustains electricity. Hold on, I'm coming. If women are magnetic in nature, not if, I know, women are magnetic in nature. That's why they either repel or attract. A woman's beauty is meant to attract. She's magnetic. That's why she has charms. She has this alluring vibe. It's her feminine nature. Anything you give to a woman, she must multiply it and give it to you. You give her a sperm, she give you children. You give her foodstuff or groceries, she give you a sweet meal. You give her an empty house, she'll make it a home. Anything you give to a woman, she multiplies. If you give her frustration, she'll give you hell. That's just how it works. I didn't make the rules. Work with me. Women are magnetic in nature. That's why they are able to produce what? for you. Now, the men which are masculine, they are men who are masculine are electric in nature. The men who are masculine are electric in nature. Now, this electricity, it comes from their nature, because men by themselves cannot reproduce. A man without a purpose lacks ambition, lacks focus, lacks confidence. Oh yes, that's ancestors. A man without direction, just like the way current and electricity flows is called current. Just like when electricity flows, it's called current. The same thing applies to a man that is walking towards his vision. It's like a current. It's like he's moving in a wire. He's moving in a straight line. He has his vision. He has his mission. He has his purpose. He has his goals. That's a man type of energy. They're not emotional. They don't need space. They move. They get things done. That's why you see men are into construction. Men build. Men create. Men think. Men don't complain. Except for men who have embodied feminine energies that make them, act out of alignment. But this is what I'm saying. The magnetic field produces the electricity. Women produce men. The magnetic field multiplies. But first of all, it needs a field. This is why it's important for a man to create a field for his woman so she can shine, because she's magnetic. This is why when we as society turn away from the opinions of the woman in her high vibratory state, society doesn't get it right anymore. Because why? They've demonized the woman. What does she know? Let her go and sit down. Ego are setting. Did you know? Because men are electric and they flow. When something flows, it moves in a line, doesn't it? A straight line, right? This is why a man's genitals looks like a straight line. I'm just giving you examples, but it's entering. Walk with me. A woman needs a field to create electricity because she's magnetic. She needs to shine. She either attracts or she repels. But guess what? This is why her genitals looks like a zero, a big zero. You have a zero for the feminine, for the magnetic, and a 1 for the electric, the masculine. Ones and zeros. These are the codes of the universe. The universe doesn't speak English. Why do you think that there are priests, Ifa priests, different priests? If they want to read your code for you, they have to give it to you in the form of 1s and zeros. Ask them, they'll tell you. If you don't know, you can ask or do some research, you'll find out. Because the universe runs with these codes. Do you know that the internet we're using right now, the algorithm on this particular platform runs on 1s and zeros? Do you know that the computer that we use, the codes, binary codes, they run on 1s and zeros? We are connected to everything. You need to know this. The masculine and the feminine. It didn't just start now. Whatever version of history you've been given that made you hate the woman, thinking that she is not important or she's meant to be subservient. For some reason, I don't know. How can a current know more than a field that created it? I don't know. But that's what we have today. We have different factors that were created by masculine entities to masculinize the entire society. The question is this: is it working? I'll give you some of the factors. Religion. Religion is a man-made concept. Man, keyword man. Man-made concept. That's why all it causes division. I'm a member of this church. You are a member of that church. We are both serving the same God, are we not? Why do we have to gather in different places with different doctrines and hate each other for it? It causes division. But take a look at spirituality, for instance. Spirituality represents the divine feminine. That's what it's for. It nurtures. It teaches. You can learn. You can grow. That's how a mother treats her youngin, her child. She will nurture that child into maturity. Because why? She's magnetic. She has the field to create more electric. Do you know that ones and zeros are the codes of melanin? Not just any kind of melanin. The neuromelanin, the one that's in you, the one that makes you reborn as the Christ. This one. Did you know? So when you've been taught to hate your skin, to hate your color, to hate yourself, to bleach yourself because you want to turn to what? Oyibo? It's all programming. They know you have power. They're trying to talk you out of it. Don't stay in the sun, it will give you cancer. It's not true. There are some people that it gives cancer. It doesn't give us cancer. We need to know these things. Factors that come to disrupt the union between the masculine and the feminine. This is why society is the way it is today. Because we think we're getting it right by being masculine. With certain factors like religion, which has become masculine. A woman can't preach, only a man can. With all those other laws like that. Education. You're meant to go through secondary, tertiary. Who created these standards? And why is everybody going through this particular? Who says you can't finish primary school in 4 classes? 3 classes, even 2. They've turned it into a business. Know this. And what exactly you're being taught? The curriculum is coming from where? From who? That means they determine what you know. This is why people who claim to be educated, sometimes they can lack intelligence because they have so much confidence in the certificate that they're given, not knowing that the only thing that certificate represents is proof that you've been indoctrinated by a different race. Because everything you claim you know, they want you to know it. That's why you know it. That's why you were taught it. Work with me. Numerous factors. If masculinity was working, the world will not be ending. What does this teach us? Let us learn to value our culture. Let us learn to value our individualities in connection with the universe. Let us begin to know that we are not just random beings on here that just appeared here out of nowhere because our parents had sex. We are actually here on separate missions, but it will all come down to one particular mission at the end of the day, which is what? Raising the consciousness of ourselves and those around us. Because if people know better, then they should do better. If they don't do better, that means they're acting like they don't know better. I'll give you an instance. You know you're not your body, right? Just like the way a computer has a casing, a CPU, it has the hardware and the software. That's how you are. You have a hardware and a software. This physical body is your hardware. Your soul is your software. The question is, what is running on your software? At least with a computer, we know that the codes that run on software are binary, ones and zeros. Are you aware that you have those same codes? Are you aware that they use melanin in making computer systems? Are you aware? That's how powerful you are. Do you know melanin is more expensive than gold? A lot of people never knew these things, man. That's how valuable you are. But you've been taught to believe that you're nothing but a speck of dirt that was made up in some garden. And now you have to beg for the person who made you to remember you. And you have to shout at the top of your voice with speakers and microphones and different kind of gadgets. I'm here to tell you, masculinity has failed the world. I'm not saying give the power to the women to lead the world right now, because I can see very clearly that something has been done to the women that doesn't make them function on the capacity they're supposed to. But we won't get back there if we don't start from here. Somebody has to speak the truth. The women are losing it. From their mindset to the kind of things they say to how they dress. These are goddesses. So let us start today. Let us know our value, know our worth. And it is not it's not being egotistic. It is you being authentic. Because for once in your life, you won't be copying the white man. You won't be copying to wear his wristwatch, his shirt, his shoes, his bags. For once, you will learn that you are more at peace when you just be yourself. And if you don't know how to be yourself, start to know yourself so you can be yourself, because you cannot be what you don't know. People always trying to get hooked on different frequencies all day. Turn on the TV, different things going on. They are distractions. All these things are trying to take your attention away from yourself. When you don't know what to do, you do what everybody else is doing. Oh, everybody goes to school. Now I go to school. Oh, everybody's going to work. Let me go to work too. I have to pay. I have to make a living. Don't I? You start giving yourself reasons why you have to join the slavery, instead of taking yourself out of it and taking everybody else with you. Listen to me. Your oppressor can't give you a solution to your problems because he created the problem. He can only give you his own version of success. And that is even more enslavement. People think because they walk around freely, they are not enslaved. And it's not true. Because only not knowing about yourself, not recognizing and honoring your ancestral lineage, the one that came before you, it creates a void. There's always this lack of confidence when you look at certain African people. And it did not come because they don't lack confidence in themselves. It came because they were indoctrinated. Everything they've been told lies, down to where they're from. Your father might be from here, your mother might be from here, but do you know where your soul is from? That's your avatar. Your body is not your soul. There's a difference between the two. The truth is this: souls don't have gender, but our avatars do. This, our physical body, it does. So guess what? When you look down on your genitals and you see something, that's exactly the avatar you're in. Don't get confused. Know yourself, so we can fix this world the way it's meant to be fixed. Have a nice day. Have a nice one. Peace, love, and light.